Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. Recording a quick video before I actually go live for today's CVC. Exciting video where I'm going to be pulling and powering up Mithrala Lifebane. But first of all, we do have some boosted champions happening over the course of this CVC. So 10 times chance from Void Shards. The first champion up, as you can see right there, which is on for the first day here of CVC, is Riho Bone Spear. Now, I think Riho Bone Spear is a very good champion. Very, very good. She has, on Perfect Body, goes down to a 3-turn cooldown, a full cleanse, removes all debuffs from all allies, puts block debuffs on them for 2 turns, heals all allies as well by 35% of their max HP, and by a further 5% for each debuff removed from them. So this is an absolutely incredible supportive move. Amazing in Arena, in Doom Tower, Hydra, just everywhere that's difficult in the game, this move is fantastic. Then she has Pressure Points. This is a 3-turn cooldown, which basically does all the debuffs, right? Puts stun on a target enemy for 1 turn, as well as a HP burn, decrease defense, weaken, decrease attack, and decrease crit rate, and then she attacks the target as well. So there's no weak hitting or anything, like so long as she has enough accuracy, she will do this stuff. So yeah, I mean, this is a really good anti-boss move when you're fighting one enemy. Really good to just completely debuff the heck out of someone in Arena. It's really nice. And then she has her A1, Absorption, attacks one enemy. Is that supposed to be a P? I don't know. Absorption? I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, puts a continuous heal on the ally with the lowest HP for 1 turn. Awesome. And then also puts a smaller continuous heal on all allies with 30% HP or less for 1 turn. So this works well with counterattack, ally attack, counterattack accessories. Obviously, it's just a decent amount of extra healing in anywhere. Very good, I'd say, particularly, again, for Hydra or those harder Doom Tower bosses. There's a lot of extra healing for free. Then she has a great passive that's fantastic for PvP in particular when receiving any debuffs. Instantly transfers them from this champion to the attacker. Now, there's a 3-turn cooldown on this, but it means that you go into, PvP and someone tries to put a whole bunch of debuffs, like crowd control, let's say, on your team. They try to put your team to sleep. Riho can shrug that off and throw it back at your attacker. So even if you don't have her in immunity set, she can still do her job. She also has ally attack and faction grips by 42%, which is just ridiculous. I forgot to say, of course, in Faction Wars, she is incredible. We look at her base stats, really good base speed, great base health, just good base stats across the board. So yeah, Riho Bone Spear, she is amazing. I would really highly recommend, though, only pulling your Void Shards now if you are into your Mercy system, right? So you've had 200 summons without a legendary, and that you're pretty much guaranteed to get her. That, for me, is the only time I will ever pull Void Shards outside of a 2x event, because yeah, it's nice that it's a 10 times boosted chance for her, but you really want to just maximize your chances, double your chances, generally speaking, for Void Legendaries pulling in a 2x event, because they are so rare and so meta defining, right? When you get one, it can completely transform your account. So I really recommend that. Now, tomorrow, it's going to be from Ancients and Sacreds. Let me double check. I believe it is Ancients and Sacreds. Ancients and Sacreds. Yep, that's right. And it's going to be Glacia Soul Guide, who is one of the newer champions, and I think she's not as good. She's interesting. So she's Force Affinity. She's a defense-based champion. I do think that she is one of my favorite looking champions in the game. Like, the detail on her wings, with like the swords built in, like, she looks incredible. I think she looks absolutely amazing. Like, people like Cardial. I don't like Cardial. I think Glacia looks literally 10 times better than Cardial. But what does she do? She got great base stats again, really high defense, solid speed, really good health. So her damage is going to scale based off her defense. So her A1 attacks one enemy, 30% chance, goes up to a 50% chance to freeze. Also does a debuff spread effect, taking one random debuff from the target and putting it on all enemies under freeze. So this is a bit more situational, possibly some usage in Arena. But yeah, I mean, a 50% chance to freeze on her A1 is just solid by itself. The debuff spread is nice. I'm not sure how practical it is. Breath of Rhyme then is her A2, 3-turn cooldown. Even unbooked, it's a 3-turn cooldown, which is nice. AoE attack, puts Weaken for 2 turns. Also steals a random buff from each enemy under a freeze debuff. Then Everwinter, her A3, books to a 4-turn cooldown, puts block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns, and has a 60% books up to 80% chance of placing a freeze debuff on all enemies for 1 turn, and fills this champion's turn meter by 15% for each freeze debuff placed by this skill. So this is an amazing move for the arena, right? If you get her running fast, she goes before the enemy team gets a chance. Block debuffs on you, 80% chance to be freezing all the enemy, giving her turn meter so she can then come back around. And then she can do another AoE attack, put weaken, steal buffs from those people that have been frozen by her potentially. So there's some interesting stuff happening there. Useful as well for something like, let's say, the Nether Spider, where she can freeze those the spiderlings, and you don't really have to worry too much about it, which is pretty cool. Or against even just a regular spider boss, she'll also freeze all the spiderlings and basically just go straight into another turn. So kind of nice stuff there. Then Timeless, this is the thing that is maybe the most unique. Her skills cannot be put on cooldown, and whenever an enemy tries to put this champion's skills or an ally's skills on cooldown, puts a freeze debuff on that enemy and has a 50% chance of denying the cooldown increase effect. You can't block or resist the freeze effect, and it doesn't deny the cooldown increasing effect from bosses. I actually think this is a pity. It would have been really fun to do that against the Eternal Dragon, for example, but unfortunately I don't believe it just doesn't work. This is kind of your anti-Yumiko, anti-Warlord, anti-Basher move in the arena, right? One of the most powerful moves, in fact, the most powerful move in arena is Warlord's move, which puts all of your skills fully on cooldown, because that goes through Stone Skin, it goes through Immunity Set. The only thing you can do to not put your skills on cooldown is to resist it. And if that Warlord has enough accuracy, you're kind of just screwed, right? And certainly, it's very hard to have your whole team with enough resistance, let alone even a couple of members. So she gives you a 50-50 chance to resist the cooldown increase and to freeze. She will freeze that Warlord, which is somewhat useful. But yeah, it's a 50-50, so it's a coin toss still, but it's not too bad. I don't know. She also gives you resist in all battles. Personally, again, unless I was well into the Mercy timer, I probably wouldn't pull for her. I think she looks really cool. I think she looks amazing. And there's definitely some interesting uses for her as like this sort of really tanky defensive-based champion, keeping your team alive, doing some cool crowd control stuff. She could be useful for arena, but I think some of the consensus is that, a 50-50 is just not reliable enough, so you can't actually use her as a Warlord counter. It just won't work. So yeah, she looks really cool though. She looks super fun. So if I was into Pity, it was into my Mercy system, I probably would pull for her just because she's awesome. But yeah, they are the two champions. Let me know what you think. As always, yeah, pulling during CVC, it's kind of a question mark. They put up really good champions, generally speaking, but you don't get any other real rewards. So yeah, there you go, guys. I'm gonna go set up the stream for CVC coming up in a few minutes here. So I might see you over there for the live stream. If not, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.